on my Instagram account, I posted about this ribeye that I made in my cast iron pan on the stove, and I have to say it is one of my favorite ways to actually make the steaks now. Sometimes I don't even bother to go out and grill because these come out so good, and I've had quite a few people asking my exact technique of what I do, so I'm going to show you here, and I hope this soon becomes one of your favorites too. So the first thing I do is set the ribeye out hours ahead of time. I mean, sometimes it's 5 hours, sometimes it's 3, but I always try to make sure I get the steak out well ahead of time because it just makes it quicker and easier on the grill, and that way the center of the meat is already not so very cold that once I've finished searing it, the inside is at the perfect temperature. So what I'm doing now is just seasoning first. I vary my seasoning, but this one is the Redmond Real Salt organic seasoned salt. It's sort of like their multi-purpose salt. And I also will put on a little bit extra of just the regular Redmond salt. And I will do all sides of that. And even the edges. In the meantime, I have heated up this pan to a pretty high heat, and I use a large enough pan that it is double the width of my steak. So when I put my steak in, I will put it over on one side of the pan, and I'm going to sear that. What's in my pan now is really sort of leftovers from a prior cook. I do not clean out my cast iron. I scrape it a bit, I might wipe it a bit, but this pretty much has bacon fat, some beef fat, and probably a little bit of butter mixed in there. So if you're working and starting with a plain, clean cast iron, then certainly make sure you get a little fat in. You can get great pork lard, beef tallow, and duck fat from fatworks.com. And they also happen to sell that, I know this is going to sound strange because it's a really high quality company with great fat, and I've probably mentioned this before, but you can go to Walmart and get it really pretty reasonable for what you get. So the steak is just going to sear up. I actually don't let it sit like a lot of recipes recommend that you just keep it staying on one side, because I will then flip it and put it over to the now really hot side of the pan. Instead of flipping it right over on itself in the same spot, it's flipping onto a even hotter spot on the pan. So this is going to stay on this side for a couple minutes, and then I'm going to flip it back, and I'm also even going to flip it up on its ends too to sear and crisp up the edge of the fat. All right, I'm also going to mention here that people always ask me about the smoke and the splatter. I will typically always put on this screen, which helps a lot, and I will put on my oven hood, which I'm not putting on right now because that's really obnoxious to listen to in the microphone. So I'm going to hope that this stays not too smoky and my smoke detector doesn't go off, but I'm going to just keep going with it this way. So again, going back over to a super hot spot of the grill. I'm going to just do this edge for a couple minutes, flip it onto another hot spot, another edge, flip it a couple more times, and it's done. Alright, I had to do it. Put the fan on. Hopefully this will come out in the video, but I didn't want to risk having the smoke detector go off. So I've had this up on its end now, over again to the hot half of the pan, and we'll go there a couple minutes, and then pretty soon I'm going to start checking the temperature. All right, and here we go with another flip over to the hot side. So you can see again, it really picks up a nice sizzle there, heading over to the hot side while the other side heats up again. And don't be afraid to flip too much, because again, back over to the hot side, getting a real nice sear and crust on here is really key for locking in the delicious juiciness of the steak. So I'm going to take my instant read thermometer and we're going to check the internal temperature. This is coming up at 90 right now, and it's about 75 over here, so I still have plenty of time to keep trying to get a great sear. Just listen to that sizzle. Wait till you see the way this is coming out. I'm going to give you a close-up view. At this point, if you want, you can add some extra butter into the pan and start basting the butter over it, but I tend to just keep crisping it up until it comes to temperature, and then I put a couple tablespoons of butter on top to melt as the steak rests before I cut into it. I happen to like my meat pretty rare, and I hate overcooking my meat, so I will keep testing it. I'm getting about 100 in this particular spot, which is about the thickest part of the meat. 105 here. 103. So this is getting really close to when I take it off. I'm going to say, in general, I'm going to eat my meat or take this off right around 110, because as it sits, everybody knows it does continue to cook. So I'm going to give one more turn here over to the hot side. Check it out. I know you're all jealous right now and want to come join me. I wish you all could. Okay, I'm going to take this off. I'll show you a close-up. It's so good. And I'm going to butter this up and show you the inside. Alright, so the meat is off. I'm going to check the final temperature. I've got some butter melting on top, and we're going to dig in. Okay, it's time to dig into this amazing steak, and we've got some really good butter melting over this. And I'm going to cut in and show you what the inside looks like. If you like this recipe, go ahead and subscribe on my YouTube channel, and I have links below for the grease splatter screen to my Amazon store, and also a discount code for Red Ninja Sauce. Whoa!